I'm Austin Kim, and I'm gonna be doing a Ruby on Rails tutorial. So if you take this, hopefully by the end of it, you will be able to make a application, uh, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Yelp. Maybe not as nearly perfect or complicated, but you'll be able to get somewhere around there. But for the first thing you gotta do is you gotta download Ruby on Rails, and to do that you go on this website installrails.com. So just go on Google, type in install Rails. Uh, there it is, install Rails. You go on it, follow all the steps. Mac, choose your version 10.2, or if you have a window, you just go all the way through. It works for every single one. Next step, you listen to all the steps, and you just type in blah, blah. By the end of it, you should have Ruby on Rails installed on your computer. Now GitHub, I don't really know. We're not gonna be going over GitHub. I'm not gonna be incorporating that into the course. So, but you can still download it. It doesn't hurt. All this stuff, download. Next step, and bam, you're finished. This stuff you don't really need to understand. Congratulations, okay? For this course, you gotta know how to use Ruby, the language, and HTML, and you could find out how to do that on Code Academy. They've got a simple course, and it's for free, but it does take time. So you just make your account, and they've got HTML, CSS. So I guess estimated 7 hours. You take that, but you should, cause it's pretty basics that you need, and then learn Ruby. I guess they have Rails too, but you don't want to learn Rails from them. You want to learn Rails from me. I mean, you could go ahead try. You should do this too, Ruby. And if you're totally new to programming, this will take you a long time, and you might even just give up, or like just not want to do it anymore because it's kind of long and confusing if you've never programmed before. Oh, I guess they have a good amount of Ruby on Rails stuff. Learn Rails in 5 hours. Yeah, right. Takes way longer than that. But you know, if you're trying to learn Rails, it's good just to do everything you can do. So, do this one, do mine, do everything. Alright, so that's it for that. Alright, so right now I'm about to type in some code, Rails, new, and then first app. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck did he just type? And how do you even know that he was supposed to type that? Well, there's just a few commands in Rails that you do in the command prompt that you do really often, and you just gotta memorize them. They're really easy. There's nothing like wizardly about it. You just remember them, and then you type them. So right now what I just did, Rails new first app. I'm telling the computer to generate a folder that's a Rails application. And you might not really know what that is right now, but soon you will. So I type in enter, and it's gonna generate all the files, and voila. Now if I go to that place, now where is it? It's in admin. So go to admin, and there it is, first app. So this is what it generates. That's like 15 folders. You got app, bin, config, db, gemfile.lock, lb, log, blah blah blah. Now right now you probably have no idea what all of this is. Oh, probably quit this. I don't know how to do that. Whatever. But soon all of these folders and files, you know what all of them is, you know their function. So don't stress about that. This is not anything intimidating. Oh god, I gotta stop saying So now I'll explain how Ruby on Rails works on the internet. And I'll do that by a drawing. Alright, so you're at home, you're on your desktop computer. Alright, this is a computer. And here you are. And you go to your browser and you search www. Let's say yelp.com. So what is that actually doing? Now, you've just been typing it all your life in the browser and you just get the stuff and you take it for granted. But right now I'm going to explain exactly everything that it's actually doing. So when you type in www.yelp.com, what your browser is doing is your browser is what it's like Google Chrome, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, whatever it is that you use. Your browser gets this address that you just typed in, www.yelp.com, and it goes and it searches the internet for that address. This is actually an address, just like your own home address. Like mine's like 11215 Willowbrook Drive. These are addresses for the internet. So it goes through all the unique different addresses of the internet, and it finds that specific address. www.yelp.com. Okay, whatever, blah blah. And that links you to this specific server. A server is a computer. So how do we draw a server? Let's just draw a power button. That's a power button. We got the disk. Got some USB cables. Got a power button. Alright, so we got the server. This is a server. If you don't know what a server is just a large computer with more capabilities. So on this server, it receives this request by your computer, and this request is requesting for the home page of yelp.com. So this is Yelp's server. So Yelp then gets this message that you sent, and it processes it, and it gets all the content that you asked for in this message, and then it this is just really simply summing all of it up. I'm actually going and explain how all of this works for Ruby on Rails, but this is just to give you an idea. So it receives that message, and in that message you're saying, I want to see Yelp's homepage. So Yelp gets all the content that's on the homepage, and it packages it up in this nice looking viewable content where you got the logo on the top, and then you got all the articles and content and ratings below, and it sends it back to your computer. Your computer receives that and it shows it on the screen, and that's exactly what you see when you search it. So say we go on our browser, www.yelp.com, and bam. So think about what that did. We searched yelp.com. It looked for its address in the internet. This is the internet. And then it sent a request message for that page to the server Yelp has. And Yelp's server then processed that message and that whole this whatever, we'll just keep going. That it processes the message and it puts it in a viewable content and sends it back to your computer screen, which then you see, and so it changes up into that computer screen. Now, Ruby on Rails is all about this process. It's all about receiving those messages from people online. Like this guy, you got this guy on the computer, and he searches your website, sends you an address. Rails then takes that message or request from that user, and it processes it and sends it back. And so the whole thing about Rails is about processing requests and sending out responses. So that's a basic rundown of Rails, what Rails is. And the way Rails does that, the reason why when I created that new Rails app right here, you're wondering, wait, what the heck? Why is there so many different files? Why isn't there just one file of code? Well, the reason why Rails is not like that is because just like an engine, or think of a car is many different parts, and each part has a different function. The wheel is for turning and moving the car. The engine is for working and spinning the wheels. And then you got stuff like the headlights, which is for turning the lights on. You got the wires for transferring electricity. Anyways, there's so many different parts in a car. So, and each part, they have their own separate compartment to do their work, right? Because that makes sense. That's how just naturally how we do things. That's how the human body works. We have a stomach that digests food. We have a heart that pumps blood. We have a brain that thinks. We separate things into different areas. So what Rails is doing here is it's separating different jobs into different folders and different files. So that's why when we created this Rails app, there's so many different folders. What Rails is really doing is it's just separating the different functions into different folders so that it's more manageable for coders to edit and create their own applications. And I think that'll be the end of this lesson. Next time we'll be making a Hello World app. So really simple, but I'll go through hopefully a good amount of parts of Rails and all in these different folders and tell you what the function of they are, and in the end it'll say Hello World, even though that's not that cool. But the point of it is you'll get a grasp on what is what and how things work in Rails. So I hope you're not too confused. You're definitely going to be like, there's definitely going to be some things you're like, wait, what? I don't even know why that's like that. But as you do this more, you'll get to know. I just hope that you're not totally lost and I did a bad explanation. But yeah, you'll get more familiar and things will get better. And soon you'll be making your own app. So yeah, the end.